If you've been hurt while working on the job and you can't go back to work because of that injury, it can be a really scary time. And if you reach out to our law firm, we can help guide you on the different benefits that are available for you. Workers' compensation, depending on the permanency of your disability, you might be able to get disability income. And we can also advise you about whether or not, depending on how your injury happened, you might have a substantial claim against a third party, not your employer, but a manufacturer or a vendor who is present in your factory or workplace, who actually did something that actually is the reason you got hurt. So we can definitely advise you on what the different benefits are that are available to you. Typically in a workplace injury case, people say, well, who would be like a third party? Who would be responsible for it? I'll give you some real world examples. You're working on an assembly line, and there's these machines that take in products and crush them. And because the manufacturer of that machine didn't have the proper safety devices on the machine that would do automatic turn off, that would provide the appropriate guards, your arm gets pulled in and you lose an arm. That's an example where you would have a really good case. Obviously, you get your workers' compensation from your employer, but you'd have a really good case against the manufacturer of that machine because it should have had the proper safety devices and safety guards. Another example would be you're walking through your plant and a 5-pound piece of metal comes flying through and hits you, in your head, and you suffer a severe brain injury, lose your eyesight. And you find out the reason that piece of metal was flying through your plant is there's a machine across the way that should have had safety guards on it to keep things from flying out. They didn't have those. You'd have a very good case against the manufacturer of that machine. Another example would be, let's say you're working in a plant and you fill up different trucks that pull in through some product. They've got tanks on the back. And there are specific safety procedures those truckers have to follow when they come in your plant. They don't follow them. And you fall from a truck and sustain a severe brain injury and other injuries. Those are just some examples of the types of workplace injury cases that we see. Or another example would be you're working for a contractor and you're on the building of somebody else and there's a defect on that building you didn't know about because of their fault and you're severely injured. In that case, you would have a claim against the owner of that building, or maybe the person that built that building because they didn't build it in the proper and safe manner, and that caused your injuries. So those are typically the types of workplace injuries where you can get a significant recovery. Workers' compensation is not going to be a significant recovery in most states. Workers' compensation is going to give you a little bit for your time off. It's going to pay your medical bills, but it's not going to fully and completely compensate you. And that's why you should call in our law firm, because we have the expertise to find out, do you have a claim against a negligent third party who is the reason you got hurt on the job, where we can bring a significant claim and recover damages for you that fully compensate you for your injuries.